Hey everyone, my name's Hayden Davidson and welcome to this channel. Now, if you're watching this video, if you clicked onto this video, then you're probably struggling to find deals using the online arbitrage business model. So in this video, I just want to explain why you're probably struggling to find deals and then also how you can actually start to find deals. Now, just a brief overview. A lot of the sellers doing these YouTube videos, now not talking badly of them at all because I soon will be like them, but a lot of them have actually got sourcing VAs for them and they don't actually do any of the day-to-day, the nuts and bolts of the actual business. I thought it would be good for me to do this video before I outsource all of my OA business because I'm currently sort of in the trenches, if you like. I'm currently sourcing manually or getting deals from other areas whilst also running my business rather than just outsourcing the whole lot at this stage. I will be doing that, and obviously I'm slightly jealous of those bigger sellers than me that have done it already. But at this stage, I've got a great overview in my head of exactly how to do it and what's working right now. So I thought this video would give me a brief summary to you watching, explaining exactly how you could do that. So let's start with why you may be struggling to start with. Now, when I started with online arbitrage, I really struggled. And the reason I really struggled was because it's overwhelming to start with and it's a brand new thing. So don't be disheartened if you are struggling to start with. I remember spending hours and hours and hours. I had Netflix on in the background and I spent hours and hours, and it was really disheartening to start with when I realized that I couldn't find many deals. And you may have also done what I did, which was to try and save money and not get a deal analyzer, which actually includes the tax that Amazon charges on the products. And then you get even more disheartened when you've tried to save that money and just type it in on the Amazon calculator and then realize that you've also got to deduct the 20% VAT on the Amazon fees. So obviously if you're doing that right now, then you need to be aware that there is a VAT fee on the fees for the Amazon calculator. So anyway, I'll drop the tools that I use below. Obviously, they're in my sort of add-on website, if you like. But anyway, you may be struggling for that reason. You may be struggling to really find deals. And let me just tell you, it's completely normal. Everyone that is a big seller now, me right now, I'm not a massive seller, but I've been doing it for about a year now. I find deals on a regular basis all the time, loads of different variations, different ways you can find deals. Let me just explain why it's normal and you will be struggling, because it's just a new thing. And I can tell you right now that a lot of the stuff you're doing is right and a lot of the stuff you're doing wrong, and it all just sort of comes with experience. You know, in another year from now, I'll also know a hell of a lot more than what I know right now. So stick with it. Just stick with it and you will get better over time. Just believe that and don't give up just because you can't find deals. There's loads of deals out there, okay? It's just because you're new, okay? So now we've cleared that up, it is possible, and the reasons that you are struggling right now, okay? On this side of the pen, apparently, I don't know how this came into my hand. On this side of the pen equation, I also want to explain ways which you should start sourcing, okay? Now, usually I don't endorse the manual sourcing from retailers, but I think when you're getting started, it's actually quite a good deal and it can actually be quite exciting. So I think a good way to start, and this is what I did to start with, is actually trawl through the retailer websites, right? And that's not to say that you're gonna find loads of deals, because let me just tell you, it's part of the experience that you will spend hours and hours, possibly sometimes, on a website and you won't find anything. Don't be disheartened by that. Take that as the learning experience, which is the necessary entry-level requirements for added experience and expertise adding to your knowledge bank, if you like. So when you're starting out, I think it's a good thing to actually get your bearings on multiple websites and download Amazonian Right Click, which is a free Chrome extension software. That will quickly give you the ability to analyze deals on Amazon without having to open a tab separately manually yourself. So that's Amazonian right click, right? And just get your bearings. You may find a few deals. Get your bearings on the different websites, understand it all. It's all quite an exciting stage, so I think it's good to sort of, you know, enjoy that stage, okay? Once you've got an idea of the multiple websites and what's out there, right, that gives you more knowledge to think to yourself, if you see a deal somewhere on a deal sheet or from a VA or wherever, it makes you think in your head, okay, I might not pursue that deal because I didn't like the look of the website, because they don't offer free postage, because of multiple reasons you may decide to stay away from that website. Maybe it's cancelled orders, maybe you know that you don't like the layout of that website, or it's a 3 for 2 offer or something. So start with retailers. Do some Amazonian right clicks just to get a good idea of the different websites, right? The second way I think that you should start doing it, I've got a video which is actually my highest viewed video in my YouTube channel below on how I source OA replenishables. That's the title of the video. Go and check that out, and I do it step by step. And this is what I call the reverse storefront sourcing. So I will actually look through the multiple storefronts of different sellers, and don't just do it off the back of what I'm saying briefly here. Make sure you watch the video because there's more to it, right? And that's just down below. And I actually look at storefronts and I do a reverse sort from the deals that are obviously currently working for them. Okay, so that's strategy number 2. You want to do the reverse sourcing. Okay, now strategy number 3 is more of a, so what you want to do is you want to get the brand. You want to get the brand, it's in Amazon. It's, how do they call it? It's a reverse sourcing from Amazon. Okay, so you want to get a well-known brand, let's say, Lego, for example. You want to get Lego, but be a bit more specific. Maybe you could do it seasonal. You could say Lego Christmas toys. You could say Lego Halloween or something. Or you could do Lego, well, they're all for kids, aren't they? Star Wars Lego. There you go. You could be a bit more specific, right? Type in Lego into the search bar with a bit more of a brief summary, a bit more of a niche, because Lego's millions of items obviously. And then what you want to do is just search down the bar and check any of the items that are sort of low competition, say 1, 2 FBA sellers, and the rank is higher than most would like. Okay, you could start finding these items with lower competition, lower sales, but actually much less competition, so you could still get some consistent sales at possibly a better price than the ones that are high competition. But on the flip side of that, I would also say check out the ones that have got multiple FBA sellers, because it could be a case that you could get hold of a load of them items. Even though the profit is less, you could still churn out the volume of them items and get more sales from them sort of tried and tested selling items that are probably not going to go down in price too much more if they're a long-standing item, because obviously there is a peak that I like to think that most sellers won't take less than a certain amount of profit, but actually it has been proven that sometimes I think sellers that have just started don't realise they're losing money. Okay, so another thing you could do, so sourcing strategy number 4 is typing in an item that you already sell, or typing in an item that could be in variations into your seller bar. Check out if there's any bundles of that item. Check out if there's any bundles. There's a few ways you could do this. You could type into the search bar and see if there's bundles that come up straight away, just like any customer would see. Or what you can do is check your current listing that you're selling on. Check the bottom, scroll down, check the customers also viewed section and similar items. And if there's a bundle variation, there's a high chance that it's going to pop up there. So that could be another great way, another great strategy to find another item that you've already got a supplier for, I would like to think. And then what you can do is just maybe just bundle it into a 2, a 3, a 4, or maybe even more packets. So that's another good sourcing strategy, I would think. Okay, so there's some more sourcing strategies there of how you can actually do it. And strategy number 5 is, I think, I think this is a really overlooked strategy because a lot of people think that deal sheets are just saturated, which some of them are, by the way. But I use deal sheets, and mine's in my link below of one of the ones that I use, right? So go and check that out if you want. I've got a discount code as well. But I mean, what I use deal sheets for is I've got one deal sheet that's very good, and I've got another deal sheet that's very good. But they're both slightly different. So one's got less competition, but it's a more private sheet. It's more expensive, right? And they're just for my everyday deals that don't tend to get too saturated. My next deal sheet is more of a well-known deal sheet. It's called Online Arbitrage Deals. Once again, links in the website below if you want to check it out. And what I do with that as another sourcing strategy is I will churn out the volume of deals on there. I will buy multiple deals on there, especially in Q4, but I will buy deals on there. I do very regularly buy deals from Online Arbitrage Deals, but it's a different method. It's a long-standing method. I only buy them knowing that the competition is going to jump on, because on a well-known deal sheet, the competition will jump on. So I still use it, but I bear in mind that it's going to be a more long-standing strategy and that competition's probably going to drop off in around about 1 to 3 months. And then that listing is going to jump straight back in price most of the time, and then I'm going to be able to get my sales, okay? Because you've got to remember, a sale only lasts from a retailer. Most of these deals, online arbitrage deals, are in the sale, okay? They're not replens necessarily, although some of them can be. They're just an item that is a sale item, and you've got to think, if other sellers can't get the stock, and there's only a certain amount of sellers on it, then one day they're going to sell out. And usually what happens is they price drop, so the listing actually rejuvenates sometimes. The sales get higher. By the time the listing is rejuvenated a nice amount, right, the sellers are starting to drop off. They can't get any more stock, so obviously the price is going back up, and the sales rank will go up slightly, but the sales will probably be there more than what they were previously to the price tanking. So I don't think price tanking is necessarily a bad thing. As I say, it's one strategy. You can use a well-known deal sheet as long as you bear in mind that you could be waiting maybe even up to 3 months or so for the listing to reactivate, if that makes sense, for you to get your profit out of that. So that's just a few 5 strategies from me, and that was just me clarifying that you may be struggling to start with and the fact that it's okay if you're struggling. Make sure you join my Facebook group below, post any questions in there. I'm always available to speak to anyone as well, obviously, if you would like to have a chat. So great, hope everyone enjoyed that video, and I'll speak to you soon.